On September 7th, a joint letter by two cane farmer associations, including the Progressive Sugarcane Producers Association and the Corozal Sugarcane Producers Association, was issued to Chairman of the Sugar Industry Control Board (SICB), Marcos Osorio, with the title Cane Farmers Freedom of Association. The strongly worded letter claims that there are cane farmers who have expressed their desire to transfer from the Bscfa to another association and are reporting that they are being unjustifiably obstructed in their efforts by their association and also by the SICB and SCPC. The letter states, and we quote, "The SICB SCPC has taken the misguided legal position that it will not consider any application after the 31st of August 2022. Neither will it consider applications for extension of time to transfer, which, as you well know, was routinely done in the past." End quote. Today we spoke to SICB Chairman Marcos Osorio about this letter, which he says stems from a request made by the representative of the association during a meeting of the SICB earlier this month to have the period for transfer to be extended from August 31st to September 15th.
Well, my first reaction to that, after reading the letter, which is a very threatening letter to start with. It's a very threatening letter. And also, I can read from the letter that the two persons that signed the letter are simply that, signing. I want to believe that they are not even fully aware of the contents of the letter. They only signed. I can very well read between the lines who wrote the letter, but I will leave that for them. In the Progressive Association bylaw, in section 5.05, where it states applications for membership by non-cane farmers and by transferees are processed as follows, and it says in 5.05e, it speaks about time frame and deadline. The applications and the debt, and it goes by saying like this, and I quote, applications must, and they use the word must. Applications must be submitted by the 1st of June and no later than end of August of any year. Then, so I read that section to the member, which to me, simply the board or the member making the presentation was not aware of what his bylaw has, which is their governing book. So, in the first instance, when the accusations they make in the letter, which I know is not them but somebody else on their behalf, they accuse that it is unlawful for the SCPC and the SICB to prevent farmers from transferring. The SCPC nor the SICB has nothing to do in relation to farmers resigning from one association and applying for membership into another association. That should be, and this is important to say, Norman, that should be a purely voluntary matter of each and any cane farmer.
Contrary to the claims made in the letter by the two associations, Osorio says the SICB and SCPC have no role to play in the process of farmers deciding to change from one association to the next.
Applications can continue throughout the year, and then I went ahead and I read the section of the Sugar Act, and that is section 20, where it makes reference to transferability of cane farmers registration. And on section 22, it reads as follows: applications to the SCPC for transfers of registration will be accepted throughout the year, save and except that If an application for transfer is received after the end of August in any year, it will not be considered for transfer of registration for the upcoming crop year, but will be considered for transfer for the subsequent crop year. So applications for transfers run the entire year, Norma. The exception is that for those transfers to be applied and granted, those applications will run up to the end of August of any year to be considered for the upcoming crop. So when the two associations are accusing me or their letter addressed to myself, and again, the letter that they signed, I am sure they did not write that letter. So I believe they need to review their bylaw first. If there is any unlawfulness, the unlawfulness is derived from the bylaw that governs their association, the Progressive Association. And I invite them to consider to amend it in their upcoming general meeting if they so wish, or they may decide to hold a general meeting, because and maybe those are the things that need to be questioned by their own members. If members would be given the privilege to attend and participate in a general meeting of their association where matters of their association be addressed, of which this would be one, this matter of transfers. So I think in terms of their letter, I may want to answer to them by telling them that the Sicb nor the Sicb has no ulterior motive in preventing or jeopardizing or putting obstacles to farmers for them not to be able to transfer from one association to another. We have nothing to do in that regard.
The allegations made in the letter, according to Osorio, are being taken very seriously since they are both baseless and can be considered threatening.
Left to be, and I hope that it is a voluntary matter of those farmers that transfer. And they go as far as accusing the Bscfa. And to me this is serious, because they accuse the Bscfa of interfering with this in the process of farmers wanting to resign from the Bscfa. I think they need to be careful in how they make reference and in terms of sustaining their accusation. If, for example, they are accusing Bscfa of interfering, I don't know that, and I'm not interested in knowing that. Okay? So when it comes to unlawfulness or stepping into the constitutional right of a person or it's their bylaw that is stepping unlawfully into the rights of their own farmers to transfer when they have deadlines established in their bylaw. So I would really want to encourage the management of Progressive Cane Farmers Association to really read, and most importantly, that read to understand their bylaws, because if they don't understand their bylaw or what they have in their bylaw, then how can they expect their own farmers to move if they as the leaders don't know what they have in their bylaw?
While he is yet to issue an official response to the letter by the SCPA and Bscpa, Osorio says he is seeking legal advice on the matter.
I am still analyzing the letter and will decide if I will respond to them. Very likely I will. Most importantly, because in the closing of their letter, and I will read the closing of their letter. This is therefore, and I quote, this is therefore to put you on notice that any further attempt to unlawfully interfere with cane farmers' freedom of association to transfer to another association will be vigorously challenged in court. I believe for that to happen, they need to have other evidence, especially where they say that any further attempt to unlawfully interfere. They will have to be very prepared to bring about the evidence of that. I believe more because of that, I will answer them. I will answer their letter officially, and while at the same time, we are awaiting legal advice on the matter before I respond to them. But it is in no way surprising, Norma. I think in recent months we have learned and now know that any single thing in this time and age within our sugar industry is challenge is about attorneys, is about lawyers, is about the court. So in no way is it surprising, and I want to also say that in no way it scares me.
Alrighty, Mr. Marcos, thank you very much for...
Our news team has reached out to representatives from the two associations for comment on the matter. However, we have not yet gotten a response to our request.